What's up, jabronis? Welcome to my WWE News Recap Show. As always, I will be starting soon. So if you are here, make sure you guys let me know. Hit me up in the chat. Let me know what's up. Going to be starting soon, hopefully. Just gotta fix a few things here. Make sure I've actually shared it in places. If you guys, you guys can share it as well. If you guys want to show me some love, you guys can happily share it. I've been trying to work on my background for the live streams and stuff, so I've been tweaking stuff like around here, just trying to make it a little bit better, you know. So that's something that you guys can be sure to expect soon. Actually have to grab the right one. Gotta grab the right one. Where is it? Have the wrong background. Where the fuck is it? But as always, you guys can ask me anything, talk about whatever. I will. Where am I? There it goes. I gotta add the right one for the background. This is the SmackDown one that I was working on earlier. I have a Raw one that I was working on earlier as well. But I also have a news one that I'm gonna be putting up right now. The news one is pretty much the same thing, just different color. But I was working on it, at least the color scheme. I don't know what to put on the sides for the news one though. That's my problem. I have no idea what to put on the sides. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll figure that out. Nope, wrong one. Where is it? Where's this one? How's everybody doing today? Hopefully everybody's doing well. Again, with the music, let me know if it's loud, if it's low, if it's the right style. I can't tell. I found it. I didn't save it before, so I gotta save it now. Should be good now. Bam! There we go. Yeah, it's not really that much different, but I don't know. I wanted to make sure it is different. That way you could tell that it's different than SmackDown. So it's more for me, I guess. Tonight we're going to be talking about, there's a few things. If you go in the description right now, I have made it so that the description does say a few things. Tonight we'll be talking about everything surrounding Paige and Alberto. Daniel Bryan's interesting comments about not being allowed to wrestle. Randy Orton's concussion, and was it a cover-up? Miss McMahon's injury, Tyson Kidd contract situation, Ryback trying to change his name, and the CMPunk UFC salary that UFC fighters found out what the hell the price was, and they weren't happy about it. And a couple other things that I'll sprinkle in there, I think. But we're going to be talking about all that, and I'm going to be testing out a few new things that I'm going to see if it makes for a better streaming experience. So definitely gonna be trying that out. Time is 9:03. I'll give it 1 or 2 minutes. Also gonna have to pause the music when I do the intro. But pretty much I've made it so that I have an intro cap and an end cap, so that way when I cut the videos down, it still has an intro and it still has an end cap on it, which is something I really wanted to do. So figured out how to do that, and hopefully that'd be awesome. And also, like, this Patreon here, it's not active. It's more like, you know, thinking for the future kind of thing. But I really have to do a lot more stuff on this channel before I even think about a Patreon. But when I was making this, I wanted to see how the layout would go, how big the letters had to be, the font and everything. So that's why it looks like That's why that's there and everything. I was trying to figure out the fonts and everything. So the Patreon isn't active, so you can't really do anything with it right now. But future thinking, you know, thinking for the future. You know, long in the future once I start doing a lot more stuff on this channel. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys comment below or leave me comments in the chat. I will interact with you. We will talk. We have a nice time, interesting conversation, and you know, things of that nature. Let me see. Might wait like maybe 2 or 3 more minutes before I get started. I want to make sure everything is looking spiffy. I might check my Twitter. Oh no, that's the wrong thing. See? I still have to get used to the thing. Like I have the hotkey set, so whenever I hit certain buttons, it does things, and I hit the wrong button there. But yep, I got it. Oh man, I can't really take a picture that I want to see. That's fine. Alright, well, I'm gonna get started. Wait, I feel like I'm off now. Okay, we got that up. Got the chat. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set this up the way that I wanted to. So I'm going to do an intro, 10-second intro. Then after that, I am going to go into the show. And then after that, we will have an end cap, and then a session after that for talking and stuff like that. I expect to be on for maybe like 30 minutes today, just talking about all the news. Of course, it would go longer and everything if the more you guys interact, we'll have conversations, but I expect it to go about that. Alright, so I'm going to stop the music. I'm going to pause this, and we're going to go into the intro. And I'm hoping you guys hear the music for the intro, because if not, I apologize. But I'm going to hope the intro works the way I want it to. And let me make sure I got this right. Bam, bam, got it. So I'm going to go into the intro. Hopefully the music works, and if it does, it'll be amazing, because I could just end it right there. I mean, start it right there, and I know when I'm going to do that. So pretty much here. Oh, wait a minute. Oh. I'm going to get started. So. All right. So I'll be back in about 10 seconds, I'm guessing.
Today we face the monsters that are at our door. Today we are canceling the apocalypse.
What's up, jabronis? Steven here, and welcome to my news recap show for the WWE. I tried this whole new thing with the intro when I'm live streaming, so hopefully that works. If it did, that would be awesome. If it didn't, I apologize for a 10-second video with no audio whatsoever. But if it did, thumbs up. Pretty much this is the weekly show where I get on here, talk about all the news in the wild world of wrestling, and just kind of go through everything, give you guys my thoughts, have some fun. If you guys are in the chat, I am planning on doing this every Thursday night. So if you guys are in the chat room during Thursdays, you guys can talk. You guys can see, it'll be all up in the corner. And when we get into the news, I got it set up so it does this. So we see the news together. The chat will be in the corner, and we'll have a grand discussion. And I'll give you guys my input. I got my window open because it's hot as balls. Hopefully there's no trains or buses or trucks or any weird shit happening outside, because you guys might be able to hear it. But as always, if you're in the chat, comment below, let me know. And if you're not in the chat, comment anyway, and we'll have a grand old time. As you guys can see from my intro, we have a few things we're going to go over. A lot of them are going to be, there's a few about Paige. Paige has been in the news recently for a lot of things. And we are going to talk about what the hell's going on. Is she coming back? Is she leaving? Is she here? What's going on with Paige? So as everybody knows, Paige has gone through a few things where she's been dating Alberto Del Rio, and he quit recently, or was fired, or whatever you want to call it. I think he quit. And Paige, of course, since she's in love with him, like if you follow her Instagram, it's crazy. Like she's in love with the dude. There's a couple things that we'll talk about that. She put up a thing about when you like some quote today with a picture of Del Rio. So she's embracing it. She's going all out. She's in love with the guy. Supposedly she was trying to quit the WWE because of the fact that she just wasn't happy because Del Rio wasn't going to be there. They were on different shows. She felt they did it on purpose. And the rumor's been going around that she was fired, that she quit. Oh, there is a train out there. And just a bunch of stuff like that. So she made an issue today or yesterday, maybe it was today, about her wellness policy and what actually was going down. Like she gave her input on it. She put it on Instagram, and it's just a little clip here, a little snippet here. I'll read it for you guys. She says, "First, I'd like to thank all of my fans for their love and support the last few weeks. Let me begin by saying that the rumors that I'm leaving the WWE are completely false. Okay. I certainly look forward to returning back to action at some point once my injury is treated and on a healthy return. Although I was disappointed by the wellness or by the suspension, I respect WWE's wellness policy. However, let me be clear that I was not suspended for failing a drug test. It was merely due to a procedural issue. I took the test. I passed it. I arranged said test to happen after I wasn't at my home when whatever that is, that's the name of the company, contacted me, so I drove 200 miles to do it. Unfortunately, I didn't do it in time according to that company. Once again, thank you for all the love and support." So I think this is, honestly, I think this is horseshit. I think it's fake. I think she's pulling our leg right now because of the fact, I think she's coming back. I think she is going to come back, but it's not because she wanted to come back or anything like that or whatever, because the rumor was she hired lawyers to try to get out of her contract. What I'm guessing happened is that she tried to talk with the lawyers, and it failed. She was not able to get out of her contract. I think that what ended up happening is she wasn't able to get out of the contract. They were like, "Girl, you're stuck with us until 2019. We ain't letting you out." Maybe they'll punish her, and maybe she'll have to do a bunch of stuff. But I believe that she tried to get out of it. It didn't work. It didn't go the way she wanted to, and that is how everything went down. As for her reason for the wellness policy, this could be true because supposedly Eva Marie had the same issue happen where she failed it because she forgot to give some paperwork in. And also when it came to Connor from the Ascension, I think, or Victor, he failed it from a drug that he was told was okay. So there could be some problems with the wellness policy, but the WWE is at least taking it very seriously. When it also comes to Paige, the rumors were also saying that all of these links are in the description as well. So if you guys ever want to just go with me through this. Dave Meltzer said that over the past that Paige had quit WWE at one point the past week, but things had settled down on both sides. There were also rumors that WWE had was going to be firing her a couple weeks ago. But there was substantial proof on that. It was concluded that the violation of the policy regarding Del Rio suspension, Meltzer has confirmed that Del Rio tested over the 6-1 allowable. Pretty much, he had steroids in his system. It's fine. His firing is his quitting and his suspension and everything were legit. He didn't want to be there. He debuted today or yesterday with WCPW, which is the Walt Culture Guys' wrestling association. So he debuted over there. He seemed happy. He said he regained his passion and the fans and all this other stuff he was talking about. So I follow him on Instagram as well and Twitter. So all right. So that's what happens when it comes to Paige and Del Rio. I'm not sure what's gonna happen. I'm thinking they're gonna feed Paige to Nia Jax to make Nia Jax look strong. But then if you really think about it, you have Paige for another almost 3 years. Do you really want to bury her that bad? I get you want to punish her, but do you really want to piss her off that bad? Like, it just wouldn't make a lot of sense to me. I wouldn't punish her as bad as I think WWE is going to. But she's going to get buried by Nia Jax, I'm assuming, and that'll be the story going forward. All right, where we're at now, let's see. Oh yeah, so Paige, this isn't really a story. This is more something interesting. she's so in love with Del Rio that she put a tattoo under her her boob and her rib, around her rib cage, saying that Alberto. And she quickly removed the picture from her Instagram. Like quickly, she did it. She regretted it, and then she did and then she took the picture down. So, but yeah, I mean, Paige is she's in love with Del Rio. I mean, I think WWE should not have tried to break them up, if the rumors were true. But maybe Del Rio is a bad influence on Paige, and the WWE doesn't want that to happen for Paige. All right, let's move on to Daniel Bryan saying that he has no choice for the reason he took the SmackDown job. It was because he had to. Supposedly, Daniel Bryan was still under contract until 2018, and the WWE wanted to, get the full amount out of his contract. So they pretty much said, "Hey, Daniel, you have to work for us, and you're going to show up and be the SmackDown general manager." In this interview for the Daily Progress, one of the things that Daniel said was, "They didn't give me a choice. I'm under contract, so they say show up, and I show up." Also, during the interview, Bryan was asked about hoping to return to in-ring competition. He responded by saying, "I honestly do. All the real concussion specialists who deal with concussion every day, all of them think I am fine." So I don't know. I mean, if you guys want the link for the long interview is in the description. But if any of this is true, it's kind of fucked up. Like Daniel Bryan had to, right? Like he has, since he's under contract, they're making him have to be a part of this thing. Like he had no choice. They said you are being the GM, so therefore you are the GM. And then also he's saying that he's going to all these doctors and they all keep telling him he's fine. So I don't know how it must make Daniel Bryan feel that everything is fine, yet he can't wrestle. He also said that if he did return, it would be somewhere in Japan, which he would get a standing ovation over there. People love him. But I don't know, man. It's crazy that Daniel Bryan is not allowed to wrestle. He was forced to take the GM position. It's also crazy that he's so open about it, that he is so willing to throw WWE under the bus. So I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think about that? If that Daniel Bryan is openly saying stuff, that he was forced to take the job. I mean, it's insane to me. All right, we're gonna stick with Daniel Bryan a little bit. Give me 1 second here. We're gonna stick with Daniel Bryan. So, of course, if you guys were watching this weekend, James Ellsworth, is that his name? James Ellsworth appeared on SmackDown with Daniel Bryan kind of giving him a push, and Mick Foley gave an open letter to Daniel Bryan where he, it's clearly kayfabe, they're going with it, but he's talking to Mick Foley saying that what Daniel Bryan did was wrong, that Daniel Bryan poached the roster, that Mick Foley was planning on doing Ellsworth versus Strowman too, but he wrote Elmore here. I don't know what that is, but I'm guessing that they're kind of going with the kayfabe version of it. Let's see what else we have here. He also said that that as a way to mend fences, that he says that on Monday when the cruiserweights come to WWE, that Mauro and Daniel call the cruiserweights matches on Monday. The reason being is, honestly, this isn't in here, but it's because Mauro and Daniel Bryan called the shit out of the matches recently. Knocked them out of the park on the CWC. They were fucking amazing. And it just shows you how Mauro could be when they don't make him do all these pop culture references. So, yeah, it's cool that they're keeping kayfabe, but it's interesting that they're using that to get Mauro and Daniel Bryan over there. So that's when it comes to that. I don't know what you guys think about that. You guys decided to see Daniel Bryan and Mauro Ranallo over on Raw calling the matches. They are really taking advantage of this. All right, so this is a story that I read on a couple sites that have been talking about this, but the WWE tried to cover up Randy Orton's concussions. Supposedly Randy Orton had a concussion after he still had a concussion after the incident with Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, and that people were wondering like why they've been allowing him to still have be allowed to do the RKO, because doing the RKO, you know, you're doing all this like crazy stuff, like jumping in the air. It's a lot of stuff, and that people were worried about him being like going through another concussion. And what they said in this article here was that WWE has always they've known about it even before Backlash, even before all of that. That the Backlash thing, they've known about that for a while. That Randy was never going to be cleared for Backlash. They've been knew about that, and that WWE just kind of sold it that way, like they always knew about that, and they kind of went with it anyway. And that the only move that Randy's allowed to do currently is the RKO, and that even that is actually not something that's safe. So it's crazy that, according to this article, that they already knew about it. Sorry about that. And that they still wanted him to, they're letting him go with the RKO, and that they still set up those matches and everything. But I don't know. I wouldn't be like shocked if that's what they did, if they actually did let Randy Orton they let Randy Orton do all these things, because he's money. Randy Orton is money. He's not as big as John Cena, but he's pretty money. They can build up the Brock Lesnar feud, the Bray Wyatt feud. They can keep that going. Also, there was something that was supposed to happen in September, the day before Backlash. I'm not sure if they're going to do it, but before Backlash, before Night of Champions, there's like a house show somewhere where it was supposed to be Randy versus Brock. Not sure if that's going to happen, especially if Randy is just recently getting over that concussion. Yeah, so they knew about Randy Orton. They pulled him due to the concussion. He was never cleared. So it was a bunch of stuff like that. It was interesting. What do we got here when it comes to Dana Brooks? Okay, so reason that Dana Brooks was added to the match on Monday Night Raw. If you guys watched my Monday Night Raw live stream, I was wondering, Dana Brooks fell out of place. I didn't understand why she was there. I kind of was thinking maybe they just should have pulled her, whatever. They didn't pull her. They put her in the match. According to rumors, the reason that they put her in the match is because they didn't want to blow their load with Becky or Sasha versus Bayley. So throwing Dana in there, it would add to the story that they got going, but it wouldn't, blow the load of Bayley versus Sasha. That's according to the rumors on where did I read that? Or whatever website this is. RSN, Ringside News. So and it makes sense. And also we're also talking about in this article that the announcers were told not to make any mention of all the four shoulders being pinned, because if you look at this picture here, I'll scroll down for you guys. All four shoulders are pinned here. We got Bayley's both shoulders and Sasha's both shoulders. And according to this article, it says the match concluded with the roll of pin. After that saw both Sasha and Bayley with their shoulders down on the mat, but Sasha was awarded the victory. We have been told that there was no directive towards the announce team to not mention that both females had their shoulders down. So maybe they bring it up, maybe they don't, but the announce team did not have any, and they were not told to talk about that. So, all right, what else we got here? A lot of the news that we have is stuff that isn't going to be that major big deal, but stuff that I was figured we can have some interesting discussions. Mr. McMahon sustains a pretty nasty injury. Not really that nasty, but he was training, doing a bunch of Mr. McMahon shit where he just kind of doing squats or doing whatever, and he pulled a muscle in his leg which requires surgery while he was doing it. Mr. McMahon's like 70 years old, man. Still out there, busting his ass off, doing his thing. Got hurt. Makes sense. Dude thinks that he's still like 20-something. And he showed up to WWE headquarters on Wednesday. I believe he got injured on Monday, so dude is fine. But still, McMahon, you're old. Calm down. There have been some conversations about Tyson Kidd's contract, because there was rumors saying that his contract was expiring around this month, his original contract. People were saying that the rumors were that he was not going to get re-signed, that the WWE was going to let him go. But according to Cage Side Seats, that is not accurate. In fact, it's being said that Tyson Kidd's contract was signed. He signed a new deal months ago. We don't know if that's because he's coming back, if he's going to try to wrestle again, if they're going to have a different story for him. It says here, there is no question that Tyson Kidd could find a spot in the WWE Performance Center to work if his career is officially over. Yeah, so they can use him in other things. Like, he's a smart kid, he knows a bunch of stuff, he's still relatively young, but supposedly his contract is fixed. All right, what else we got here? Ryback is attempting to legally change his name. This is just funny. Like, Ryback wants to change his name. Of course, if you guys have been following Ryback after he left WWE, he's kept his name. He's got a podcast called The Big Guy. He's got a clothing called like a whole thing about Feed Me More, a bunch of stuff with The Big Guy. He's getting offers from TNA, I believe it is. Like, he's fine, but I guess when in his whole contract negotiation, he figured out a way to keep Ryback, like to keep that name. So he owns Ryback. I guess I think we talked about it before, was that Ryback originally he filed for the name and all that for himself before the WWE did. So therefore he owns it all. So he owns The Big Guy, he owns Ryback, he owns Feed Me More, he owns all this stuff. And now he looks like his real name is Ryan Reeves, and he's looking like he's going to be changing his name to Ryback officially. And going with that, if you follow him on Instagram or on Twitter or Facebook or any of these things, like the videos he puts up are hilarious. He always seems like he's in character. He's funny as fuck. So definitely something to look out for when it comes to Ryback, because hey, Ryback would change his name to Ryback, of course. All right, the last bit of news that we have here is several fighters are outraged about CM Punk's $500,000 payout for UFC 203. So most fighters for UFC, when they get their payouts, it's usually like they get maybe $60,000-$70,000 for the fight, $50,000 bonus if they win. And a lot of the fighters are actually very upset. A lot of people in the industry are very upset because CM Punk made out with $500,000 for a 2-minute fight. It's insane. I mean, I don't know what kind of contract he signed with Dana White, but I'm assuming it's probably a $1.5 million contract. He was going to get paid $500,000 per match. He easily made double or triple what Mickey Gall made. But yeah, pretty much if you go through this article, it's just a lot of people upset. What a joke. WWE guy, $500K investment paid everyone but fighters one time. $500K could build entire FW division, and like, it's just, people are upset as hell, like, about how much he made. And I'm not really that upset because CM Punk is a name. Like, that's the reason that he got signed. If you listen to a lot of people talking about why Dana White signed him and how CM Punk was actually going to try to go to like the smaller leagues, but Dana White approached him and he wanted him to do this. So definitely some interesting situations when it comes to that. But it's like Brock Lesnar gets paid that. I mean, this is what big names get paid. Like, if LeBron said he wanted to do UFC, you know how much Dana White would pay this dude? Like, it's just when big names that people know, like if an actor wanted to do this, like if it's a big name that brings a draw, you know how many people that I know don't watch UFC but watch wrestling, watch this fight and just hoping that CM Punk would win? It's just something that's gonna happen. Like, it makes sense, and I get why people are kind of upset, but they should probably calm down because it just happens. It happens. All right, well that's pretty much all the news, actually, guys. Like, I went through it pretty fast. There wasn't a lot of people in the chat today, and there wasn't a lot of things to really talk about. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this as well. Like, I'm still tweaking some things, trying to figure out things with the channel. I'm gonna be putting up a video tomorrow as a test. It's top 10 WWE matches of the week. Gonna try to see if people enjoy that. If they do, I'll do it on a weekly basis. Maybe I'll do moments. I don't know. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And as I said before, if you showed up late, testing out this new thing where I end the show with an actual outro, and that way I can do a cutoff right there. So definitely going to be doing that right now. So I'm going to stop the music and we're going to do that, and I'm going to see you guys in a little bit. All right. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's I'm gonna do the show from now on, where I'm gonna do that outro. Then I'll come right back and we'll have a conversation. We'll talk if anybody is in the chat. That's how I plan on doing it. But a lot of people aren't in the chat today. Maybe I should have did this a little bit later. But I figured that doing it early, people would actually be more in the chat. But maybe I'll wait from now on and do them maybe after 10 East Coast. But as always, those that do watch this video, thank you. I really appreciate it. And thanks for coming in, stopping by. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe to the channel. And I will talk to you guys later. Peace.